All right, we're good. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the City of Douglas Mayor and Commission meeting. This will serve as our regular meeting for August the 26th, 2019. The next thing on the agenda is the invocation. Commissioner Edwin Taylor had those honors. Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let's say, Mayor. At this time, we will call Ms. Wanetta to come and do the invocation for us at this time.
Let us bow our heads. Dear Heavenly, most gracious God, Lord, we just thank you, God. God, we ask you right now that if we said or done anything, God, that's not pleasing to you, God. God, that you give us a clean and pure heart, God. God, I ask you that you come into this commission meeting, God, that not our will be done, God, but your will be done upon this community, God. God, we thank you, God, for loving us. We thank you for your grace, and we thank you for your mercy. And God, we ask you right now to touch each and every person here, God, that they may see you in everything that they do. We love you, God, and we glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Next on the agenda, we have the Pledge of Allegiance, and as always, we'll be led by the Coffee County Navy Junior ROTC. Tonight, we have Lieutenant Junior Grade Marino. If you would, please stand and face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the order of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda items. Excuse me. And as always, we'll turn that over to the city manager, and he will read off the items that were placed on the consent agenda.
Mayor and Council, we have 7 items coming over on the consent agenda. The items are as read. Item 1, approval of the August 12, 2019 minutes. Item 2, approval of the City of Douglas elections agreement. Item 3, approval of the FY20 roof repair at the historic World War II flight training base. Item 4, approval of the consultant agreement for the downtown pocket park. Item 5, approval of authorization to file a grant application with the Georgia Council for the Arts. Item 6, approval of the fee waiver for the use of the gym by the Department of Labor's job fair. Item 7, approval of the loan modification, the GFA loan modification concerning the completion date. Those are the 7 items being brought over on the consent agenda.
At this time, I entertain a motion for the consent. It's been motioned
Second.
and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next thing on the agenda is work session items brought forward for discussion. Again, we'll turn that over to our city manager.
We have 3 items coming over on be brought forward for actions or discussion and actions. And that the first item will be item 8, tab G from your work session. This is discussed the surplusing and donating of the old police cars to the Coffee County Board of Education. As discussed in the work session, we have some cars that's time to go up on to be taken out of our fleet because they're wore out far as patrol cars. The school board has started their new police security force. They don't have need for patrolling vehicles. They need show of force vehicles on the premises, and so we have 4 or 5 cars, whichever y'all decide on, to be donated if y'all so approved. Dr. Lease has submitted a request that we donate those cars, and like I said, as we discussed in the work session, this is not strange that we donate things back and forth to each other, but I'm here tonight to ask y'all's permission, if it's so be, to surplus those vehicles and donate them to the school board.
Commissioner Taylor, I do believe that was your department.
I'm out for that.
You're for it?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Durham?
To see how much we could get, but one for it now.
See how much we could get. Hold on, let me write that. What about, you want to donate? Donate. Give me a second. Donate. Mayor Pro Tem,
I'm okay to donate to help our school stay safe.
Commissioner Pearson?
I'm in favor of seeing what amount of monies they would be willing to, give us for each one of the cars, because I'm really kind of, puzzled and concerned, Mr. City Attorney. I know sometimes we say that the city cannot give away stuff. That's the purpose for having those e-gov sales or whatever.
Yeah, you can't give away taxpayer property, but if it's another local government, you can. If you exchange property like the school board exchange and donate property to us, you can donate property to the school board. It would be legal.
Commissioner Moore?
Donate.
Commissioner McNeil?
Yes, I'm very much in favor of donating them.
Donate?
Yes, sir.
That's 4-2. Donate.
So with that being said, if they're gonna donate, would you get us to see what they're gonna donate towards that? I mean, if we exchange? Oh, okay.
Donate toward.
Yeah, they're gonna just give it to them.
I need to make a motion and.
Okay. Somebody make a motion?
Commissioner Taylor, I think, was,
Yes.
it's his, so.
I offer motion that we donate is it 4 or 5 cars? 5 cars to the school board
I second
for
it.
safety.
It's been motioned and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Opposed?
Motion carries.
Next item coming over is item 9, first reading to be held of the 2019 millage tax ordinance. Jerome Adams.
I'm here to recommend the mayor and commission allow the first reading of the proposed 2019 tax ordinance. Each year, the city of Douglas is required to set the tax millage by ordinance. As required by state law, a 5-year history of the city's property tax digest and levy, and a notice of public hearing on the attached ordinance was published in the Douglas Enterprise August 22nd, 2019, and will run again August 29, 2019. The proposed tax ordinance should be read for the first time this evening. The public hearing, as required by law, is scheduled for 7 p.m. Monday, September the 9th, 2019. Following the public hearing, the ordinance will be presented for action. This ordinance sets the net millage rate at 7.387 mills for the city and 1 mill for the industrial authority, for a total of 8.387 mills.
Okay.
Well, I do have somewhat of a cold. I think I may have gotten that. I went out to California last week. Thursday night, I went to Rose Bowl Stadium.
Sounds like somebody bragging.
And watched the Rolling Stones.
What?
Yes, sir, Rolling Stone. Mick Jagger is 76 years old. He ran around on the stage for 2.5 hours. So I think we need to hook Commissioner Moore up with Mick Jagger.
A long way around to get a punch in.
That's exactly right.
But it's all right.
This will be an ordinance of the Mayor and Board of Commissioners of the City of Douglas, Georgia, proposed for the levying of a tax upon all taxable property within the City of Douglas, subject to taxation under the laws of the State of Georgia and the ordinances of the City of Douglas for the calendar year 2019 and for all purposes. Subject to all provisions hereof, be it ordained by the Mayor and Board of Commissioners of the City of Douglas, Georgia, in session assembled and is hereby levied aggregation 13.9 mills upon all taxable property of real and personal within the city limits of Douglas, Georgia, subject to taxation under the laws of the State of Georgia and ordinances of the City of Douglas as reported by the Board of Assessors for municipal taxes in said city and due in legal form levied in proportion as follows to wit. Ad valorem tax millage equivalent, C 13.9 mills, less sales tax millage equivalent, 5.5 mills. Total 2019 City of Douglas tax millage, 8.3 mills, less 2019 Industrial Authority millage, 1 mill. Net City of Douglas 2019 ad valorem tax millage rate, 7.3 mills. Bill ordained by the authority of the aforesaid that the taxes assessed as here and above provided be collected by the duly elected tax commissioner of Coffee County, who has entered into an agreement with the City of Douglas for collecting municipal taxes on or before the first day of December. The duly elected tax commissioner shall keep the records open from the first day of September 2019 until the first day of December 2019. And after such date, said tax commissioner shall then proceed to issue tax executions for all due unpaid taxes due to the City of Douglas, Georgia for the year 2019. Be it further ordained that the City of Douglas does authorize the tax commissioner of the county to bill and collect the 1 mill for the Douglas Coffee County Industrial Authority and to remit said taxes directly to the Douglas Coffee County Industrial Authority. introduced and read for the first time at a regular meeting of the Mayor Board of Commissioners, City of Douglas, Georgia, on August 26, 2019, and we'll have the public hearing and the second reading on September the 9th.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, I think there was one more item.
Next item, item 10, FY19 budget amendment. Tommy Harrell.
This is to seek approval of amending of the FY19 City of Douglas budget to reflect changes that have occurred since the adoption of that FY19 budget on June 11th of 2018. The requested amending has to do with the special revenue funds. We are spent less $18,344,117 than was budgeted. So we're amending the total revenue funds from $27,387,424 to $9,043,307. And this will reduce the total budget for FY19 from $102,558,549 to $84,214,432.
We're good?
That's a total difference of how many? Mr. Harrell?
It's a total difference of 27 budget from 27.
Approximately 7 million or so?
It's approximately 20 million. Yeah, approximately 20 million.
Not 10 million, some change.
And the reason for the reduction in spending has to do with our all the buildings that we have in plan for the recreation parks complex that we're doing, the new swimming pool, the special park, all those we're behind in what we had anticipated we would be at this point. And so that's why we didn't spend it in FY19.
Okay. Any other questions, Commissioner Pierce?
No, that's all I have.
Cool.
So I'm recommending that the Mayor and Commission adopt the resolution to amend the FY19 budget to reflect the changes in these revenues and expenditures.
At this time, I entertain a motion.
So move.
It's been motion. Any seconds?
Second.
It's been motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion. Say again?
Opposed?
Opposed?
Yeah.
Motion carries.
I've got to get, as I requested already, my copy of the budget.
Okay, thank you.
Those are all the items from the work session.
Next on the agenda, we have staff comments. Ms. Henderson, you have comments?
Just a few.
Thank you.
Just want to say that the City of Douglas will be closed on September the 2nd in observance of the Labor Day holiday. The next residential drop-off will be on Saturday, September the 7th from 8:30 to 12 noon at the Pole Yard. We are still seeking volunteers to serve on some of the boards that we have vacancy seats. Some of the current ones is the Ethics Committee, the Library Board, and also the Airport Commission. Anyone would like to volunteer, they can go to our website, download the volunteer form, and sign up. There are some job vacancies and bid. I'm sorry.
Will you please report those board vacancies one more time for me?
Yes, ma'am. The Ethics Committee, the Library Board, and the Airport Commission.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, those are the current ones that we're publicizing.
Okay.
As I was saying, there are some job opportunities out there, also some bid opportunities. They can go to our website if anyone is interested to sign up and receive the bid information or notifications through the Notify Me module. Those are all the announcements that I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have the mayor and commission comments. I'm going to start with Ms. McNeil and move to my left, and then I'll pick up with Mr. Taylor and move to my right.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. As many of you know, we had a busy week this past week with qualifying taking place for the upcoming election, for the November 5th election. And I want to say a few things about that, Mayor, if I might. I think we have got a lot of good things going on in this community. So many wonderful things, and I'm afraid as a result of some of our commission meetings and some of our some folks' opinions of Douglas and Coffee County. We may have folks who see the glass half full. And I'm a commissioner who sees it, they see it half empty. I'm a commissioner who sees it half full. In fact, I see it 3/4 full. In fact, I think our cup's just about running over with good stuff. And I want to highlight a few of those tonight because going into this next election, many of us here are up for re-election, and we seek this office to continue those things, to continue with that. It's funny because many of us, when you're first starting out in politics, you run, if you're like me, you ran because you thought there were some things you wanted to do, you wanted to accomplish, some things that you thought you could bring to the table. This time around, I believe in the community, and I believe strongly in the people, the support people of this city, and the support groups that are here, the volunteer groups, the folks who are doing a great job. And I want to help support them and give them the resources, give them what they need to help them do their job. And I just want to say a few things. I've worked as a city employee here, and I support the department heads. Oftentimes, if I seem more complacent than some others, it's because I know what they do. I've been in the trenches with them, and I know what they do. And I know they're hardworking, they're dedicated, ladies and gentlemen, these department heads. We oftentimes give them the responsibility, but we kind of want to take it back or whatever. And they're listening to 6 or 7 bosses or 8 bosses or whatever, including the city manager. So I want to say I commend them on the job they do most often. And, I'll typically side with them if I can and support them if I possibly can. I want to say that I serve as chairman of the Land Bank Authority, and I've gotten to know Georgia Henderson. I've gotten to know many, many people in Douglas and Coffee County through that, and that's going to be a wonderful project. It's just been kicked off this year. They started it 2016, tried to get it going then, but we've got a great committee this time. We're going to try to help out with some blighted properties, get some things back on the tax digest, and doing some really good things there. Ms. Henderson, several folks have been involved with something called First Friday. First Friday is taken off this year. We went to Thomasville. We brought that idea back to Douglas. That's a good thing. Again, we can't take all the credit for that. There's so many people within the city who've helped with that. And, those are things we need to keep up and running. Some of us, again, here ran unopposed, so we didn't have the opportunity to get out and get to know the people in our wards like we might have liked to do. Now with some opposition, I look forward to that. I'm excited about that, and I want to encourage people to call me. I get just as many calls from Commissioner Moore's constituents who may think they're in my ward or somebody else's constituents for help. And I'm always glad to help anybody. I think I've done that just as much as I could throughout the past 4 years. I've worked very diligently. I've attended all the meetings here, the work sessions here, the training sessions, and tried to be a good steward of the taxpayers' dollars. I hope I've done that. And I think that we have so many good things, and I hope that we can learn to appreciate that, build on it, and go forward with a good positive election. I'm looking forward to, I think this will help get the voters out for the tax allocation district vote, and I think I encourage everybody to get out and make their voice heard. Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Moore, if you would, let me interject American Legion Post 515. I forgot them. Did not mean to overlook. That was my bad.
There's some of the good folks I'm talking about.
It's okay.
They're great.
My bad.
Army. Good evening. My name is Commander Al Walker with American Legion Post 515. This evening, my cohort and I are here to talk about some of the events that we have. First of all, we'd like to invite you to our September 11th Remembrance Ceremony. We are in collaboration with Citizens Christian Academy, their CCA's Leo Club, Coffee High School, NJROTC, and Hardee's. And it's going to be at the CCA Gymnasium, September the 11th, from 8:30 to 9:30. And there is no cost, and we're just asking everybody to come along and just look to see how our Coffee Countyans in Douglas relate to September 11th, because that was a major event in our history. We're also celebrating our American Legion Centennial. And with the help of the Heritage Station Museum, starting on September 16th from 10 to noon, we have a program that's going to be there. What I failed to mention before, the display that we have with American Legion paraphernalia is going to be in the museum up until Veterans Day, November the 11th. So if you're not able to join us on that day, then you get the kids and everybody else out and just go over to the museum to see. So we are inviting all of you, mayor, city commissioners, Douglas, Coffee Countyans, everybody to come and join us, because this is how we show our patriotism. Now,
I'm Jerome Loving, and I got to bring to you Reefs Across America. We've been doing it since 2014, and this year's slogan, everyone plays a part. We need everyone to play a part. There are family members, there are churches, there are businesses, there are organizations, there are banks. Everyone can contribute, because to continue the mission of the Reef Across America, Remember, Honor, Teach, we need donations. Reef costs $15. We're talking about remember those veterans that fought and died for the freedoms we have. Honor those veterans that are continuing to serve in their families, because we're free because of them. But our task is teach the young, teach the children about sacrifices made for the freedoms we have. So we are needing donations to do that. A ceremony is December the 14th at the Ware Center, way down the road, but come support us. And with 501c, everything we get comes from donations and goes back to our community. So we do fundraisers. We have one going now, a raffle. You need tickets, see Facebook, call me, and I'll get them to you. And we thank you for the support you've given us all this time. Yes, sir.
There you go.
and our very last thing is through legislation, a law that was passed by President Trump in coordination with the National American Legion Commander. Now, any veteran serving from December 7th, 1941 up until now, currently serving, as long as they have an honorable or under honorable conditions discharge, can now apply to join an American Legion post. So we're encouraging all the veterans, if they want to join us, so we can continue these efforts and stuff in Coffee County and surrounding counties, that you come and apply, and then we'll go ahead and see. But as of now, you can apply to join the American Legion, which will make us more than the 2 million strong that we already have. Thank you.
Good deal.
Congratulations.
Thank
No, that didn't fall in law that eventually could design, go to the VA. They bought that in a couple months ago, that they can go to the VA.
That's not a part of our,
Okay.
that's not part of our
Thank you.
presentation tonight, so we want to emphasize the points we made, and we'll move forward.
And we thank you.
Thank you.
y'all.
Thank you for yielding, Commissioner Moore. Commissioner Moore, your comments?
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to serve again on the commission, be my 27th year, and I appreciate most of all running without opposition, and continue to help serve the people and spend the best tax dollars we can spend in the city of Douglas, and this Douglas will continue to grow and prosper and be a home for folks, grandyoungins and great-grandyoungins, and I got some of all of them. And we thank you for the employees and what they do and what they contribute to the city of Douglas. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioner Pearson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome.
I'd just like to first of all give honor to God for this day. Just honor each and every one of you here in your respective places. It's good to see a full house tonight. First and foremost, I want to once again ask our city manager, is there an executive session scheduled for tonight? Okay. So there's not. So that brings me to this point, being that there is no executive session scheduled for tonight, and I've been asking about one for almost 3 months now, I think, right after June Savannah trip, I think. But anyway, are you aware that you can schedule executive sessions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then when are you planning to give us some information in executive session concerning the recent events that's gone on here in the city of Douglas with employees?
I mean, everything's been shared except for the current investigation that the agency's looking for, and they should be through with that within the next week or two. But I mean, I'm assuming they'll be through.
And you think they'll be through within the next, what you said?
Couple weeks, yes, ma'am. But it's on their timetable.
Right, okay. And you remember at the last meeting, you said to me that, you were sworn to secrecy about whatever?
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't never share that email with me, right?
I sent them the letter that you requested, and I have not heard back from them.
No, you told me, you said I can show you the email.
Did I send to them asking for a letter? Yes, ma'am. No, I can't.
You said you could show me the email where they were
No.
telling you were not to share this information.
I said I could share the email with you that I'm going to request them, but no, that was in their office. There was no email. I mean, that was in their office.
Okay, so did you share the letter you sent to them with me?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I said I could share it. You haven't asked for that. I mean, I can give you a copy of
At the
that.
last meeting, I had concerns about them telling you could not share information
Right.
with us. So therefore, if you went ahead and sent them a letter regarding my concerns, you should have forwarded me a copy of that letter that you sent.
I mean, if you're asking me for the request, I mean, I will give you a copy of that. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
but it was my understanding, you said last meeting, you could show me the email that you had gotten from them regarding the secrecy. But anyway, so I understand that some other employees have spoken with the GBI, and they have not been told that they could not, that they were to be held, their information in secrecy.
Right. I can't speak for them. Yes, ma'am. When I was summoned to the office.
Okay. You went out to their office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So just tell me, you don't think that this information should have came to mayor and council in private with us discussing what questions
I
and
mean,
answers? Not what they're still working on, the other information where, matter of fact, the GBI was not even involved in one of the employee situations.
Right. I mean, everything's been shared with you via email. I mean, there's nothing that would be discussed in executive session that wasn't aired out in the email. So I mean, that's.
Okay. I don't care to receive information such as that over email.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Information like that, I want to have a sit down, so that if I have questions, I can have an opportunity to ask those questions and get answers. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. The next thing that I have is that we are all aware that this past, what is that sound? It's hurting my ears. Is it me? Okay, that's it. All right, thank you. This past week, all of the elected officials sitting here, we had the opportunity to qualify for the upcoming election, which is going to be the final day for the election is November the 5th. And I heard Commissioner McNeil state that, you know, she was unopposed last time when she ran, so she didn't get a chance to meet the people, but and I can say this because out of 20 years, I'm experienced to this, and I had some training in college and this, that, and the other, but you know, you don't go out and meet people just because you have opposition. You need to make these visits to people whether you have opposition or not, whether there's an election or not. If your heart and soul is really into the people, trying to be their servants, you would take this responsibility on. Just the day before I got ready to come to this meeting, I got a call from someone who was having problems with some police. Something happened with the police. So before I could get dressed to come to the meeting, I went down to try to find out what was going on, checking on this mom and her children or whatever. So the chief came because Commissioner Durham had called him and he was able to come also. But I just want to say to the citizens of Douglas, you know, with this election coming up, and a lot of you have been here to see what has gone on in the past, and we have had some real troubled times, and there's no need to pretend like we have not. There's no need to pretend that everything has been hunky-dory, because it has not. But I said to you all in the past that whomever you choose to elect, you be very careful about it, because these are the people that's going to make the decisions for you. Whether they're going to be nonchalant and don't really care about you or whatever. But I can truly say, and I thank God I am unopposed. Ever since I won, I've been unopposed. So that says to me that my constituents feels like that I'm doing a fairly well job. So I thank you all, District 3, for allowing me to represent you, to serve you. And whenever you call me, whenever I can, I come and see about you. So again, I thank you. But this is a serious task here. Sitting up here is a serious task. And I don't take it lightly, because we have people's livelihoods in our hands. When folks have high, ridiculous utility bills, $700, $800, $900 bills, we could act like we don't care and tell them pay it the best way they can, or we can try to come up with a plan to help them out. Like I proposed years ago, because when I first came on this council, people were complaining about these high utility bills. So we came up, I served on the utility committee with Ms. Wynetta and several other employees, and we came up with the payment plan. Now I'm hearing the payment plan is not being quite as effective as we had hoped for it to be. So if it's not, we're going to have to try to come up with something else. Because when you sit in this seat, you've got to have, first of all, the love of God in your heart. And second of all, love for humankind. So if you don't, I put a post on Facebook the other day. If you want to get up here in this seat and keep your mouth shut and not represent the people, not try to make things better for people, then you need to stay home. And I'm so serious about that. I am very, very serious about that, because I am passionate about people and people being treated fairly. Everybody should be treated fairly and with respect. And some people, I think, get up here just to get the amount of money that you get per month, or just to go on the trips. I don't know. But if your heart is not in it, to the citizens of Douglas, Georgia, be careful who you mark that box by their name when you go to vote. And what you do, you look at their past. See how they served the people and represented the people. And if they have not done that, please don't vote for them. Because I've said it on Facebook the other week, this is the worst administration I have ever served on or served with. The worst. And I put that on everything. I put it on everything. I tell you, and it's sad. It's sad because I can say this, to have a majority African American commission and to have the strife, the hatred, the lies, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. As I stated in the work session earlier, there was something sent out this morning that was a blatant lie. And it said, a blatant lie about me. And God knows, I don't know, like I told Commissioner Moore during the break, I don't know why some of my fellow commissioners seem to have a problem with me. I guess it's because I speak my piece, I don't bite my tongue, and I tell them how I feel. And that's what I want them to do with me. When we talk, tell me what you feel, what you think, or whatever. I can respect a person for telling me how they truly feel, as opposed to somebody lying to me in my face and saying something different behind my back. And lastly, Mr. Preston, you sitting over there smiling, and you should be, because you keep up the most mess in the city of Douglas that I have ever seen. the most mess. You keep this community divided based on racial lines. It's time out for your mess. And the citizens of Douglas need to see you for who you really are. And I'm addressing you here and now because you won't give me an opportunity to talk with you face to face. You won't consult with me about anything. But you go to your little, wherever you go, your house or wherever, and then you make your comments. And all those comments you made over the past weekend after qualification on Friday were so nasty, saying about Tony Park is our guy. The white folks can put Tony Park in, all that kind of mess. And you spoke about myself and Commissioner Durham trying to put enmity between white folks and between myself and him, trying to already put salt in the game against my nephew. You didn't bother to mention that Rodney Johnson, who is running against Commissioner Durham, you didn't bother to mention that that's the mayor's nephew. But you wanted to say about who my nephew is that's running for mayor, Terrence Culley. Well, to the people of Douglas, let me say to you, you judge Terrence Culley on his own worth. He's a Culley, that's right. He is my nephew, that's right. And one thing the citizens of Douglas can't admit about the Colleys, we're going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. We're not going to lie to you and try to sugarcoat it. And if you don't like that, then that's on you. But you know, when we say something to you, you can take that to the bank, because we're not going to sit and lie to try to make you, okay, yeah, no, we don't play those kind of games. We wasn't reared up that way, and gladly so. So, Mr. Preston and Mayor Park and whomever else playing your games, play them. But it's on the citizens of Douglas to do the right thing. Because like I said in that post I made, y'all don't come running to me when you vote for the wrong person. Don't come running to me if you don't select the right person who's going to be fair, who's going to do right, regardless of the color of their skin. It's on y'all. It's on y'all, because this community should be fair and way better than what we are. I think that's all I have for tonight, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Pierce.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Taylor.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to start out there saying that school time, it is in full force, and we are asking the citizen of Douglas, if you would, please, ma'am, please, sir, to start out 10, 15, 20 minutes earlier, according to where you got to go, because we do not want an incident that happened over in Fisher, Georgia, that the school bus was transporting some football players back home, and there was a car pulled out in front of the school bus, and there were some of the kids got hurt on that school bus. Even the driver, along with one of the kids, I think, crashed into the windshield, because I was over in Tifton with my dad, and I want y'all to keep him in your prayers, because he's going through a little something, you know. And while I was over there, they brought a lot of kids in, and I'm asking everybody from Coffee County, with school being in full force, please take out extra time to wherever you're going, to take out a little extra time to give you time to get to where you need to get to. Next thing I have is that election time is here. We have candidates seeking for various seats. We ask the citizens to go out and vote for the best candidate. That is your right. Main thing is go out and vote. Please, ma'am, and please, sir. I'd like to say congratulations to the Trojans on their first win on Friday night. I think they have a home game this coming Friday night. Me, along with Jordan and maybe my wife, Baba G, will be there to support them. Also, my last thing is keep the Johnson family in your prayers. Pastor Johnson, along with Mother Johnson from Pine Street, Lighthouse. Good young lady, church-going lady. She was wheel-bound, but she did not let that stop her from going to church every Sunday. She passed away on today, you know, everything. So keep the Johnson family in your prayers, you know. That's all I got, man.
Thank you. Commissioner Durham.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'd like to say, first off, I would like to commend all the citizens of Ward 2 and tell them thank you for letting me sit in this seat, because if it wasn't for the citizens that elected me, I would not be here to be the voice of them on today. And I tell them thank you. I tell them thank you. I tell them thank you. From the start when we qualified, it was in my spirit that I would run a clean campaign, because running a clean campaign and with God in my life, I don't have to fight an unnecessary battle that I have to go against. I fight my battle through prayer, and I fight my battle through relationship. And then saying that, with Ward 2, I built a relationship with all constituents of Ward 2. I went door to door on a golf cart. Just had a stroke. Well, I didn't have a stroke then, but I had the stroke after I was elected. But I went door to door, black, Hispanic, white, it didn't matter to me. I don't see color. But I built a relationship with those citizens. And I can sit here today to say that I'm honest, I'm dependable, and I'm passionate. But most of all, I'm determined to reborn the community involvement. And I want the citizens to ask this to themselves. Do you know your status? Do you know your status as a citizen? I want to see our citizens more involved in local government, more involved in our school board, more involved in our city. Because if it wasn't for you, we will not be sitting in this seat. And no one should take that lightly. Because if it wasn't for them and God, nothing would be possible. But some things you just have to put in God's hand and pray about it. Just like the minister said, the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. But the scripture also says, if my people that are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, turn from your wicked ways and seek my face, he said, there I will heal the land. If we're going to see anything change, we got to know our status and stand up as citizens and get involved. Because if you're not going to get involved, there's no need to have a voice. And we are the voices that represent you. My name is Kentewan Carter Durham, and I am the Commissioner of Ward 2. And I solicit your vote on November the 2nd, November the 5th. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Commissioner Gow.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm like everybody else. I appreciate the opportunity that I have to be seated on our commission and to work with this entire commission for the betterment of the city and our community. Look forward to serving in the next 4 years and helping to make our city better and stronger and to serve our citizens. As I think about what I would like to do ahead, I've got 4 main areas I want to address. I want to exercise good stewardship over City of Douglas funds and help oversee our budget. I want to work to encourage economic growth in Douglas and Coffee County. I want to continue to support the improvement of city facilities, especially for parks and recreation, to enhance the quality of life for our citizens and our employees. And last but not least, I want to ensure that we adequately fund our public safety agencies to make sure our citizens are kept safe and secure. And whatever else it'll take to just grow our community. We have our challenges, but I agree with Commissioner McNeil. We've been able to accomplish a lot in these last 4 years, and I look forward to what we can do over the next 4 years as we try to strive to work together. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. My comments are as follows. First of all, the city manager texted me. We do have a utility committee meeting. So at the conclusion, we'll have a recess and let everyone depart, and we'll stay in the chamber and take care of the utilities, okay? My comments are as follows. First of all, Mighty Coffee High Trojans did me some justice. I was over there in Brunswick. The game was well in hand. Those are the type of games that I like. No stress in my life. I don't like last-minute wins. I want to be up by 45 points by the end of the first quarter. I don't want no stress in my life. Because when you lose them close ones, that 100-mile trip seems like 500. So keep going, Trojans. As Mr. Taylor said, that school is in. Let's please be mindful of leaving a little early, making sure that we get our children into bed so that they're well rested, get a good meal in them so they can go there to learn. And I heard Ms. Murray say this one time, and I see her over there, said the more you learn, the more you earn.
That's right.
The more you learn, the more you earn. And it is statistically proven that the more education that you have, the more you're going to earn during this life. So look, I always tell the students, remember, the teacher already has their degree and already has a job. They're trying to give you some knowledge to help you along your way. So always be mindful of our teachers, our educators, the janitors, the lunchroom workers, the bus drivers. My next thing is, the tax allocation district is coming up, and that is going to give the citizens the opportunity on November the 5th to go vote to see if we're going to put a little skin in the game, to see if we can have Hobby Lobby, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Cookout, and Marshalls. That's the initial group. So give us the opportunity to try to improve the quality of life. Maybe we can get some of the surrounding counties to come here and pick up a few things. Also, I want you to be mindful is that we're still talking to a couple industries. Try to keep the streets as clean as you can. Clean up around your house, because guess what? If we do land a major industry, those employers are going to be looking for housing in all areas of our community. So we want to make sure that we have a great presentation when they ride through. We do the junk drop-off twice a month. Please take advantage of that. My next thing is, this is my second time sitting in this seat. This is my second time sitting in this seat. And Mr. Roper had a profound impact on me. Before I had the first meeting as the mayor, I think I was 40 years old. I had never sat in any elected position in my life. And over there across the hallway, I was talking to Mr. Roper, and I said, Mr. Roper, and notice I call him Mr. Roper. I don't even call him Commissioner Roper because he ascended above that role. Everybody calls him Mr. Roper. And I was trying to tell him I had all these grandiose ideas. He said, boy, if you sit down and shut up, I can teach you something. You know what? I sat my butt on the corner of my desk, and I listened to John Lee Roper guide me. When I want to go left, nah, we did that back in 1984, son. That ain't gonna work. I'm gonna tell you why it ain't gonna work. Well, what about this, Mr. Roper? And I say that because at the age of 40, I felt as though our city had some issues, and that I wanted to come down here and I wanted to correct those issues. But you know what? I think we did a lot of good things. My first administration. One of the things I'm always mindful of, whenever I see Parks and Recreation, I see Douglas, Coffee County Parks and Recreation. I see Douglas, Coffee County Parks and Recreation. And I always keep that in the uppermost part of my mind. What can we do together? What can we do together? We have built a second to none parks and recreation program throughout this state. But you know something else? It didn't look good. It didn't look good. The optics of that entire exchange didn't look good. And you know what? When I came back this time, I remember the night I was laying on my bed in the master bedroom. I was laying across my bed, and I was waiting and watching the election returns, hoping and praying that the United States of America was going to elect President Obama. And when they did, man, you talking about somebody, I was on cloud nine. And throughout his administration, I watched him get punched. I watched him get talked about. I watched him get lied upon, crucified. He used to make me so mad. Won't you fight back? They just punching you. But he knew that what he was doing as the president was gonna be forever. His legacy was gonna be forever. And when he won re-election the second time, I was still in the master bedroom talking to my wife. I said, you know what? I wish President Obama would have been president before I took office the first time. He would have showed me how to act. When you sit in a position of authority, there's a responsibility that you have. There's a responsibility. Going back to Mr. Roper, there are 6 commissioners up here and there's 1 mayor. Mr. Roper say, stay out of my ward. I represent my ward. If I need you, I'll come get you. I said, well, Mr. Roper, he said, hold on. If I need you, I'll come get you. If my ward is messed up, it's my fault, not yours. So I try to stay in my role as the mayor. I try not to get down in the weeds of the commissioners, nor do I try to get in the way of the city manager and his staff. I always remember what Jerome told me the first time. You have a legal umbrella of protection. When you go outside of your role, I can't protect you. The first time I sat in this seat, I got sued a lot personally. Right, Jerome?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Yes. I got sued personally a lot. Sitting in here in depositions after deposition. And Jerome said, hey, he was in his official capacity. As soon as they deemed I was in my official capacity, they dropped the lawsuit. Why do I tell you that? As the mayor of the city of Douglas, I have a responsibility. I am the face of this community. I will always walk with my head high. I will always put the city of Douglas first. Always. Always. Why? Because I represent 11,656 citizens. All of them. Whether they can vote or not. I represent them all. That's what it means to be the mayor of the city of Douglas. I check my ego and my biases at that door. And I make the best decisions that I can for our community. Because guess what? Facebook, everybody is watching. Everybody. On the Economic Development Authority says that a lot of industries don't even contact the state anymore. They go on Facebook. They go on live feeds. They go social media. They can find out everything about the city of Douglas that they want to find out. So guess what? We're talking to a couple industries that could change the way things are here in Douglas. I'm not going to let this mouth be the reason that they don't come. When I sit on the Economic Development Board, I say, look, I understand those problems. But guess what? We have to up these wages. Up these wages so somebody can buy a house instead of renting a house. Listen to me. Up these wages so somebody can buy a house instead of renting a house. Well, Mayor Paul, you doing all right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just because God been good to me don't mean I forgot. I'm still from D5, L1. Because lest you forget. Lest you forget. So as the mayor of the city of Douglas, I'm going to walk high. Because this city has been good to my family. And I am trying to repay a debt that I cannot repay. Because guess what? Mr. Roper gave a lot for me to sit my butt in this seat. I am going to do everything that I can to honor everybody that went before me with honor and as much respect as I can give. And if I have to bite my tongue, hold my peace for the greater good, that's what I'm going to do. Because as the mayor of Douglas, and this is my last comment, the president of the United States is an idea. It's a concept. Here is a concept of free government, democracy, a concept that we should hold near and dear to our hearts. And I do. So with that being said, all the citizens of Douglas and Coffee County, we are grateful for your support. Go out and exercise your right to vote. Go out there. We're going to do everything that we can to continue to make the city of Douglas great. At this time, I have no more comments. We're going to take a recess, and then we'll have the utilities, okay? Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mayor.